Hey guys, how is everyone? Welcome to the weekly Over the Reality community space. It's good to see everyone here. Can everyone hear me? Let's do a mic check. Throw up a what's it called? A thumbs up emoji if you can hear me. Oh, please hear me. Thank you, Ira. Thank you so much. And I was wondering, it's really crazy, when you play with audio. And I just wanted to know if you also were able to hear that intro jazzy piece. Give me some hearts if you were able to see that or hear that. Hearts, hearts. I need hearts. Anyway, I can't believe it is Thursday, August the 1st. It is ridiculous how fast the month has passed by, right? And I know that there's a little bit of delay because now I'm seeing the heart. So I'm so glad you guys were able to hear that jazz piece. I think I've got this down pat. You never know with technology. I hope everyone is doing really well. I'm also multi-streaming this on the different social platforms, but it's always good to see the PFPs here in the space. I will be bringing up people to speak, especially the mappers. Oh my gosh. So I know some of you are familiar with Over the Reality, and you're also familiar with our, I guess, main campaign that we rolled out last early December of last year. And it's really been a whirlwind. We actually have a power mapper down in the audience, and I know you know him. His name is Elias. We'll be bringing him up to speak too. We also have Brover. He's actually a power mapper as well, but we'll get into that in a bit. What I wanted to really talk about was Over the Reality's DePIN initiative. So if you don't know, and I'm sure you do, but I'll just say it again, DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. I know it's lots of words strung together to just create this really cool, short form. But what is it actually? You can Google it. I know I did when I first heard about it, so that's okay. We get to use the tools that we have to learn stuff, and that's really wonderful. So here, before I start, I just want to let you guys know that anything we say here is not financial advice, though after you have heard it, what some people will share here in terms of their mapping journey, you'll figure out, you know what, maybe I should get into this mapping thing, but we'll see. Is it right for you? I don't know. I definitely have my own thoughts about that for sure. So DePIN, they're really networks that leverage blockchain technology, right? And it's meant to incentivize individuals to collectively create physical infrastructures. Now, when you think about physical infrastructures, there is like power, there is, oh gosh, like there's like networks like Wi-Fi. But when you want to apply it to over the reality, what physical infrastructure that does over have? Well, if you know, over is a spatial Web3 platform, and we have a digital layer over the physical world. So the physical world really is the physical infrastructure. And when the over's DePIN is actually map to earn. So we are incentivizing anyone all over the world to map these locations in 3D using their mobile phone while earning as they go. And the currency that they earn is Over's utility token, the Over token, OVR. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. The cool thing about DPIN is that not only does it provide earning incentives, but it also gives the person who is, like in this case, 3D mapping a specific real world location, it gives them ownership and control. So once they finished 3D mapping a location using their smartphone, they actually have the ability to choose whether they want to retain ownership of that 3D data by minting it into an overmap or an NFT, or allowing you to sell it to like people like Over or anyone else, and they can potentially monetize their work within a growing digital economy. Another thing about DPIN is you actually are part of this. Like there's this whole innovation and contribution aspect, right? So when you participate, you can be part of pioneering this movement in digital mapping and spatial computing. And you're also contributing to the creation of a decentralized and accessible digital world while also learning new skills in this emerging field. So this is really something that a lot of people don't really realize. When you really sit and think about over the realities DPIN initiative and the map to earn program, you're like, hey, that's pretty cool. Not everyone, it's not for everyone. Although there are people sitting here who are power mappers and they're saying, why wouldn't it be, right? There's someone, Elias will tell you that it's super easy. He's got this down to a pat, and we'll hear from him definitely. He actually, I don't know, maybe I'll let him say it, but I like to give the wow factor. So last night he was in a space of a community that we all love, and it's called the Xenu community. And shout out to some of the Xenu members out there. I'm just gonna do a shout out to Cortez. Hey Alex, Tindicator, Sea Moon, our Hexa Demancy. All right, let's go. So he was in a space called Pancakes and Chill, and he surprised everyone. And I'm going to like say what the surprise is, but then I'll let him tell you why I guess he did it. There is a reason. So the Xenu community, it's we call it the mob or the zombie mob. So it's a zombie mob secret society. They're a collection of 10,000 NFTs made in Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine, guys, who the hell makes NFTs in Unreal Engine? So you know when you're going to use Unreal Engine, you know you've got plans for this baby. And to me, it's like gaming and movies. That's all I'm going to say. So you fall in love with these NFTs. Some of them are actually, the people in the audience or the listeners are actually sporting these NFTs. There's Alex, he's sporting his zombie cowboy hat. There's also Demancy. There's a few of them there. So what happened last night is Alea swept the floor. What does that mean? So there's a floor price for NFTs, and it ranges between whatever ETH, right? So while there was the Pancakes and Chill last night with Mega Cab and J Rock, who were part of the Xenu Mainnets community, Elias was busy behind the scenes. And he, I believe, like he can correct me, but he literally ended up buying 21 of the ZMSS NFTs, Zombie Mob Secret Society NFTs, Xenu NFTs. 21. You do the math. And that I did the math and I'm like, what? That's a hefty amount to throw into an NFT collection. But if you know what the NFT collection is all about, then you would too. But this is not the place. This is not about the Xenu community or I'm just gonna give them a plug, of course, because I love them so much. This is about Over's DPIN, and there's a tie-in to it, you guys. There's a tie-in. So I'm going to bring Elias up. Oh, I want to welcome Mayor And I want to do a shout out to our Hexa, Open Metaverse, Pasaheba, Alonzo. Hey, Alonzo. Hey, James. Nice of you to join. There's Joe, Soyo Crypto. There's our head community manager, Alex. So good to see you. There's Ira from Spatial. There's the Derbied one, all about AI. Please follow him. There's Matus. Shout out to Matus and Rover and Elias. Elias, I'm going to bring you on and kind of like follow up about what made you what made you buy the 21 NFTs, or maybe it's more, I don't even know, but how did you end up getting it in the first place, like the money part? Let me see if I can bring them up. So we're still talking about DePIN, okay? But there's a tie into this. Hi, Leas.
Hello, Carmen. How are you?
I'm
Sorry,
good.
I just missed the last part what you were saying because when you give me the mic, I get mute for 10 seconds, so I don't know what you say.
Oh, just so I was telling people how last night in the in Mega Cabs and J Rock's Mega Pancakes and Chill space, you were busy behind the scenes sweeping the floor of the ZMSS
Yes.
collection. And I want can you now this is still about DPIN and map2earn. So see if you can tie it in. Like there's a tie in here. So can you tell your
Yes.
story?
Well, honestly, what I did is claim my OVR tokens. I was for the last 7 months holding the OVR tokens, having the 5x booster, and since I was mapping in the UK with our Hexa, for me it was quite hard to upload my maps because I was not. I have a roaming data like not very extended, so I was to be very polite with the amount of internet I was using outside of the Wi-Fi zone of the hosted. And honestly, I could not upload that much maps during the trip. So I must upload most of them. Actually, 200 maps I upload the last 2 days. So what happened? On my mind, I was thinking maybe this is the only chance also that I have for claiming the tokens and also for making a register of how is the process to claim it and then the process to get back from booster 1x booster to 5x booster, because I will have these 200 maps in queue after claiming. So yes, I'm making many things happening on the same time. And since I was having these OVR tokens, I was thinking that could be a good idea to try to engage, to teach the people how to use the tokens in somehow. Like you can sell them and you can, for example, do some Xeno NFT. Or actually, you can do whatever you want. If you need to buy a coffee in Starbucks, you can go and buy a coffee in Starbucks. Like I buy NFTs just because was the thing I could do yesterday at 1 a.m.
Okay, so are you saying to me, and I know this, I'm just like, like rolling out the information, that just from mapping, you were able to buy the 21 Xenu NFTs, Zombie Mob Secret Society NFTs?
Yes, basically in 7 months I earned worth 20 in OVR tokens.
In 7 months?
Well, 6 months if you want to be more precise, because the last month, last week was like very intense. So, you can say 6 months and a half, maybe, not 7.
Well, that's amazing. So for everyone who's listening to this, is this a full-time thing for you? Is this your main source of income? If you don't mind me asking.
No. Actually, this is not my main source of income. I work a normal job, 8 to 5, Monday to Friday in a factory. I can say everyone knows here I work in Intel factory, so I actually developing microchips. So
okay, so
I do other things. This is just my hobby.
Okay, so that's amazing. So because you joined Over's DePIN initiative, which is the map2earn program, in 6 months you earned roughly about 1 ETH, and that allowed you to purchase, was it 21 Xenu NFTs?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. So this is like, so it's a so this, would you call it a side hustle?
I don't know because I call it as a hobby. I have side hustles. It's another thing. I do more money with side hustles.
Okay.
So I call this a hobby for me, honestly.
Okay, this is insane. So because like I have hobbies, but the hobbies that I have do not earn me 1 ETH. Where I can buy like 21 amazing NFTs that, if you think about it, they're really little, they're their own validators. And I'm just saying this. Look, you guys, you have to follow, please follow Elias, follow follow Moon. Hey Drano, follow Drano Demancy, follow all the people also with the like the zombie mob, these zombie dog PFPs, because you're gonna want to hear more about mainnets and Xenu. And oh my God, let's not get started with mainnets. But Elias, that is like amazing. So this is what I meant when I started speaking about DePIN, where it gives people the like earning incentives and earning potential, right? To be part of building out an infrastructure collectively, like almost like crowdsourcing, with the control to do whatever it is you want with your earnings, in addition to keeping the, like Elias chose not to keep the some of his what is it, over maps or 3D maps. He ended up selling it to Over, which is like, what's it called, withdrawing the rewards. I know that there's some people in the audience, Elias, that are starting to map or have been mapping, and they have not gone through the process of withdrawing their rewards or tokens. Is that a difficult process? Would you like to walk us through that?
Yes, actually, I did record it with the OBS, so I'm planning to make a video about that, so I can teach people very well how to do it. No one needs to get scary or whatever. It's a very simple, easy task. It took like 5 minutes, I guess, for the accreditation, but it's just because of the speed of the net. I think it's because of Polygon. But it's super easy. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to follow the rules of the map2earn campaign. There is a minimum 10 maps approved, and that's it. Well, okay, you had to have a MetaMask wallet connected to the account, and also had to pass the KYC. But after that, it's just every 10 maps you can claim. You don't need to wait. I don't know, like I waited 7 months. Every single time you have 10 maps approved, you can claim. So you can do it. It's very simple.
Okay, that's really amazing. I'll tell you something about. Okay, so Elias is a power mapper. Our Hexa, Brover as well. I'm going to actually bring Brover up. He has a partner, I believe, called Strawberry Cake or something, and they map crazy, like they're in Europe right now, just like where Elias is. Sorry, I doxed you, but they're traveling, they're like doing this has like for fun, and it's a couple thing. Hey Brover, how are you?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How's your mapping journey going?
No, I told you last time I was here. I told you I had a problem with the brand OnePlus. Still waiting to get my new phone to be able to map again. Had a terrible experience of leaving with a phone not working and expecting OnePlus to solve the problem, and yeah, it didn't work. But now I'm gonna wait, and plus it's a big heat season in the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal and Spain. So better not to be out when it's 40 degrees. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, and when the phone works, we're gonna map like crazy.
I know you guys have been mapping like crazy already. So OnePlus, that's Android, right?
OnePlus, that's supposed to be a high-end phone. OnePlus 12 is $1,000, and fixed price. AR doesn't work.
Oh, okay. What
Oh,
operating system?
man.
Is the operating system Android?
Nah, I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. The guys are leaving me in the dark. Been fighting with them for 40 days already, and they finally took the phone back, and I'm waiting for a replacement.
Okay, I'm thinking that the OnePlus runs on Android.
Yeah, it's Android.
Yes.
So does that mean you had so there was the issue with the AR, or what are they calling it? Google Services AR now? With the AR core?
Exactly. I mean, I asked to the team of Reality. They told me it was AR problem, the service exactly, and apparently some people don't have that problem with other OnePlus 12, and so a replacement might solve the problem.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. Sorry to hear that. I'm sure you guys will be back up and running, and we'll see the leaderboard. So there's a
Yeah,
leader.
for sure.
I think Elias is okay. So there's a leaderboard for mappers, and it's almost like they're kind of like gamifying it in a way, not really, but you can tell who is the number one like mapper for. It gets refreshed every month, correct?
Every day, I think.
No, every day you have refresh, but now we have a tab for last week, last 2 weeks, last month, and the all-time high.
Yeah, that's what refreshes every day or in real time, but then is it calculated? Oh yeah, so it's just like a running thing. So who's the leader right now? Is it you, Elias? Should we check? Let me check.
Like in all-time high, I still being the leader. I have 3,880 something.
That is
And then
crazy.
it's Smaur with 2,780. Then came Strawberry Cake with 1,800. They did something crazy in Paris.
Oh my
And
god.
then I don't know I don't remember well the user, but this user is mapping in Turkey. I don't know. He never here in there. Yes, that's right. But he's never here on the Twitter space, so we don't know him or here. I don't know what is it.
Oh, so
He, she, they, them. I don't know. Like I don't want to be offensive because in the profile picture I don't understand what is it.
you know it's funny because you can tell there's like a slight a layer of competitiveness, a friendly competitiveness, because when you see people let's stop. No, I know I am. So here, no cap. Here's a story. When Over first talked about launching a map to earn, I was super excited, and they were talking about a leaderboard and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm so competitive, you don't even know. But then here's the thing: I live in a location in the middle of Canada that, when you think about it, there isn't really much places that are worth mapping. So the thing with mapping is there are already designated areas where Over wants you to map. There are ones with, and you'll see it, like it's all on the website. There's ones with you'll see it on your mobile phone and on the browser when you open up the primary market mapping. You'll see like an Over symbol plus a clover leaf, and that definitely has rewards. So when you map it, you'll instantly see what rewards it has, and there are ones that are just clover leaves, and that gives you like a 15% chance that if you map the areas with just the clover leaves, there's a 15% chance that you will get a reward. Here, when I opened the map, I was so excited to map because I'm like, I'm going to be number one. You don't know, because I work remotely. A lot of people work 9 to 5s. They have to be in brick and mortar jobs. I literally can go out. I could still do my job while mapping. No, because my location, like I looked, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's already like 20 maps. So how do you expect me to be a leader in mapping when in my area, literally in my province, my province can fit like, I don't know, 16 European cities? I'm kidding. But there's only like 20 maps. So that took me out of the game already. And perhaps that is why I don't have that motivation to map, because I know like there isn't areas for me to. I could still map areas that don't have rewards. I could definitely do that, just to have that data and someday turn around and sell it to maybe a municipality, or an augmented reality creator who wants like 3D backgrounds to input in their game and stuff like that. I can definitely do that. Like, you don't have to join Over the Reality's DePIN or Map to Earn program. If you want to just map your whole neighborhood, your whole city, whatever it is for you, you can do that, right? So that's the thing. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So that was my story with mapping. It's great when you like, I'm not going to lie, transparency. It's great when you live in a big city, and especially in a country where it's easy well, easy access is relevant. It's all relevant, but or subjective, but easy access to different areas. So like, I would love to be in Europe. Actually, not at this time. I know it's super hot, but I know Brover. Did you want to say something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it. You know, I was traveling for like many years through Asia, and I think that this mapping thing is the best job for a digital nomad. Someone who is able to travel wherever he wants. He just go to big cities, and he makes at least triple of what he spends by working maybe 3 hours a day max. The only thing he has to care about is having a good Wi-Fi connection if he goes to a hostel. That's the only thing you need. If you're a digital nomad, you can travel everywhere and make money by traveling.
Yeah, Brover, that is 100%. You're right. You're absolutely right. Speaking of travel, you and your partner have traveled a lot in Europe. Like, you've gone to places, like you even said, like I think you said in Elias's space, Elias and Mayor's
No,
bi-monthly space. Was it this space?
no. We traveled through Asia, but it was just before COVID.
Okay, but I mean,
No,
like,
but she means because you was on Barcelona,
yes,
in Paris, you were traveling around Europa last month.
yes.
Just on my part, not to campaign. You know what I mean?
It was straight to Paris. We had things on the way. We're like, no, we're going to Paris. That's where we're gonna map.
Yeah, and you even said, thank you, Elias. Thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Brover, you even mentioned something like there was something you guys wanted to map, and you walked up somewhere, and you were able to, like, you didn't know it existed, and you saw a beautiful view, something like that.
Oh, yeah. That's 2 hours away from our home, but there was a one-day trip. There was a Monsanto, I think, where they filmed the TV show Game of Thrones.
Yes, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Speaking of traveling, so Elias just kind of like, he's in the middle of, what do you call it, Elias? Like your mapping journey? Can you explain that?
Well, yes, I was thinking about this season number one on the list. I am the first one who started to run out without maps to do with my city. So I was the first one to start to think was the next goal, because I had to become a nomad. Because without being a nomad, you are out. You need to be a nomad to be a power mapper and still keep being in the number one. So I started to do my mapping journey, my mapping parties. Since I live in Ireland, I started to planning to map at least in different countries once a month. And the first country most close to Ireland was UK. So I just came back from UK this last weekend. We was with Texas. So it was a fantastic weekend. I can't tell enough. He's an amazing guy. Honestly, I would like to listen to him. What is his opinion and his perspective of traveling with him? Because it was lovely. We had beautiful weather, and actually also was the first time we met. So it's like like we are making the family united for first time without knowing, like trusting each other, like with blind eyes, you know. And also, Alexa got a casino a few weeks ago, so the feeling is different, you know. Like it's not just going to visit another friend like normally you used to go to visit. Is way different. So I like this scenario. So that's why right now we are in August. So this month I'm traveling to France, to Bordeaux, in a week. So next Thursday actually I'm traveling to Bordeaux. And then in September we have a big trip to mapping Alhambra. Alhambra is one of the UNESCO places that we have. One of our companies that is Alhambra Immersive owns the OVR hexagons of the place. So we have like 600 hexagons there. So we have a huge project for building a very big hub of augmented reality, so the people can join in there and trade NFTs, make a market like antique market, you know, like people selling jewelries or whatever, you know. So yeah, so actually plans are very big, very huge. We are in the beginning of this. So I think traveling is the key things on mapping after you wipe your cities. So it's something that everyone will start to also to think about.
Well, that's insane. Like it's crazy how you were able to map the whole of like your city and like a good part of like I guess so you're around Ireland. Like that's amazing. I want to hear from our Hexa. You guys just recently met. I saw your photos of you guys together. It's you guys had so much fun, and it must have felt like amazing to meet. You know, finally, like you guys have been communicating, like I guess on Discord or you know like DMs, and now you finally met with like such common goals. Our Hexa, what was it like meeting our Aleas for the first time in RL?
Yeah, hi everyone. Lovely to be here, Carmen. Thanks for allowing me to tell you my story. Yeah, it was great, absolutely fabulous. I mean, you know, it's a strange place. This, as you know, we live in a world where you know we don't connect as much as we used to, and it was just great. I mean, I mentioned to Elias a few months ago now about what a great idea to have a party, and he said, "Look, I want to come to the UK. Are you up for it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." I spoke to my partner. I said, "Look, there's a guy from Argentina that lives in Ireland that walks around in circles for most of his spare time. Shall we get him over?" And she was like, "Yeah, bring him over." So that's what we did, and it was fabulous. I picked him up from the airport on Friday night, on Thursday night, apologies, and then he came back to my home. He met my family. He stayed over, obviously. We jumped in the car. We drove to London. We parked the car up for 77 hours in a car parking space. Jumped on the tube and got to it. I mean, when we say got to it, we really did. I mean, we kind of did 30,000 steps per day. I mean, we were literally going for it. And I did say to Elias, you know, we can do the touristy thing if you want, or we can kind of, you know, maybe take in Brighton, or we could go to Birmingham, or we could go to any other cities. And he said, "Look, I'm here to map." And I was like, "Do you know what? So am I." And we knew that London was going to be rich pickings because it's densely populated, obviously. The values of land are great. Yeah, it's a challenge because they're very, very busy. You know, to walk around Piccadilly Circus near Nelson's Column on a Friday afternoon is difficult and challenging at the best of times. But we made good. We found a beautiful sweet spot where I'm actually going to go back in a week or so and go down and do some more down there for a day. I've got a couple of meetings in London, and whilst I'm down there, I'm going to go and map during my spare time. But you know, as was mentioned earlier, it's a great way to to get out, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Elias, and we are building friendships, and we are building each other's business in one way or another. I've actually got 3 Zenus because I managed to get another one just before he went in and wiped the floor. So we talked about that over the weekend, and it's a great idea. What some of the plans he's got are tremendous. And this guy here, he comes into these rooms and he shows up every single time. And it's a testament to him as a person. And, I just want to put this out. He's a fabulous guy. He's so passionate about what he does and why he's doing it. And he's a mapping machine. I've got my phone in my hand, and he then sets up his apparatus. Is the only way I could describe it. He's got a gimbal. He's got a neck piece with his streaming phone. At one point, he had his glasses on. He's constantly thinking about how to optimize the content that he's kind of putting out into the world. And as I say, over a few beers we talked about some of the ideas that we've both got and the way that we want to kind of develop things going forward. And he comes from a slightly different background to me, but actually I really came away from that weekend not only having a new friend, but also thinking differently about some of the ways that I can do something. And when Elias looks at community, he looks at the over community. He also looks at different communities that he's also part of. And he's doing it for the benefit of those communities. And he's also doing it for the benefit of him and his investment, whether that's time or money or energy or momentum or enthusiasm, however you want to gauge that investment. And that's what he does. So, it was brilliant. I had a few problems with GPS, I must admit, when I was down there. I've got 2 phones. I've got an iOS phone. I've got a decent iPhone. And then I went out and I also bought a OnePlus phone and reconfigured AR code onto it. And it works fine. I still did have some problems. But I think the great thing about mapping is everyone should, and rightly so, have their own way of doing things, their own stories, their own experiences. And I know we're going to share some of those in Mail's and Elias's room in a couple of weeks' time, because we've got some stories. We have some stories from our trip in London. But, I also found my own kind of technique that works for me. And I've tried it again when I come back here, and it works for me. And I think that's the great thing about shared experiences. And actually, throughout my career, I've worked with some amazing people, and I've kind of picked chunks out the way they do things and adapted it to my own style and the way that I come across. And, that's what these spaces should be. It should be sharing good practice, sharing information, and sharing a little bit of competition. Competition is great, but we should also learn to complement each other as well and not necessarily compete against each other. So in essence, it was fabulous. We had wonderful weather. We had some great beers, and all very expensive because we were in London. But yeah, the whole experience was brilliant. And thank you, Elias, again. I'd like to say that publicly.
Oh, that's amazing. I love hearing your story. And yeah, I couldn't agree with you more with Elias. I remember, I don't know, maybe it was a month ago or 3 or 4 spaces ago. It was one of these over the reality spaces, I believe, or it could have been a Tech Talk Tuesday when my heart just melted when what's it called? When the Xenu community and the Over community met. Oh, I know what it was. It was Seamoon and Hexadized. I believe it was a Tech Talk Tuesday, or it could have been, yeah, I think it was definitely it was a Tech Talk Tuesday. And I was interviewing Hexadized, and Seamoon came up, and he's down there, part of the Xenu community. So Hexadized is like an OG of Over, and Seamoon is an OG of Xenu mainnets, and they started chatting it up. And Hexadized was already planning to go to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville that just happened last week or last weekend. And when Seamoon found out that it was in Nashville, he said, "Hey, I can come out and meet you." And that's exactly what they did. He drove down for maybe 1 or 2 hours. He met Hexadized over there at the Music City Center in Nashville. He can tell his story as well. But yeah, it's really all about when communities meet up. And the great thing is our Hexa, now that you are part of also the Xenu community, you know that they literally have spaces almost 24/7. There's Arnold, he has spaces Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. There's Rosemary, she has spaces every Thursdays in correlation with Thor's Day Marbles. So they have on Discord, they play marbles every Thursdays in addition to having a simultaneous space. And then once the marbles game is finished on Discord for an hour, we are still on Rosemary's Twitter X space, and then we're there for 2-3 hours. There's Mega Cab, Jaywalk. They have pancakes and chill spaces. My God, yesterday was a treat. They had 2 spaces of pancake and chill. Like, it's crazy what that community is doing. So no, you already know our Hexa, all the spaces that the community is doing, and it's just community driven. It's really community driven. And I know you weren't here. A lot of you, like you, Aleas, maybe Mayor was here in 2021. I'm not sure. But I know our Hexa, Aleas, is fairly new to Over the Reality. I know Alex, our head community manager down there, he's seen it all. Alex, you've seen it all. He's the one that created the Telegram ambassador group. Great idea to get like key people to be in touch with, I guess, the core team. This was back in 2021, and for every Aleas and every Arhexa and every Mayor, there was like 10 of you in the OGs. Like there was like 10 Hexadides. Yeah, Alex knows. They had all the same ideas. They were so driven. The only thing was there wasn't really a map to earn there. It was mostly they were promoting the Over Live, where you can do live events within Over's platform. They were doing a lot of AR awards, augmented reality awards. They were collaborating with a lot of NFT collections or communities, doing play to earn. So over in 2021, 2022, it was really a different vibe. But what was the same was the passion that the OGs of the community members had. And the difference is I guess there's a lot of differences. The difference is, to me, the Xenu mainnets community is a true, I'm going to go out on a limb here. So what is Web3? Like, what the hell is Web3, right? So to me, because the developers are kind of like the C-suites, and they run the thing. I just thought of this. So there's developers, and a lot of the devs you don't see. There's only one dev guy who's, I think he's a COO, named Brian. You can follow him. He comes on often to the spaces, and he's the only one that that I've seen anyway that regularly joins the Xenu mainnet spaces that the community holds. And I'm thinking, well, he can because that's part of his role. He handles the Discord server really well, and that's just kind of like his role. So when I try to compare it to Over has a dev team. Over CEO is a blockchain developer, but they also have families, right? Like, I'm just thinking that you don't see, I think they say this, there's a guy named Dale. You don't see Dale a lot because he's busy building and he has a family. You don't see other people because they're like the chef. He heads up Nets Finance. You don't see him a lot because he's busy building. Once in a while he does show up. So it is similar to Over. The co-founders do show up once in a while when they're invited with official AMA. And we know that Diego showed up last week and Davide showed up the week before. I did send them an invite, but then they're also busy. So there's definitely a difference. So our Hexa, you get to see that that whole passion with the Xenu community. And Over had that, but Spaces wasn't so popular when the OGs were really, 1000% full on. Unfortunately.
No, I think it is important. It is good to get a real understanding of the community, because at the end of the day, Web3 is based on community, right? It's all about decentralization and, more importantly, cross-pollination. And this is where we've gone wrong with corporate life over the last couple of decades. Everyone's gone into their own silos. Everyone's kept their figures to themselves, their turnover to themselves, and everything else. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have private conversations. However, I think the openness and the transparency, there's nothing wrong at all with certain companies joining forces with other companies, collaboration, whatever you want to call it. And that's the way that commerce, business, community, and the way that we bridge business going forward is going to work in the future. And just to your point there, Carmen, I've been involved in my own way with Over the Reality since 2021, because I've been buying land since then. So although I wasn't part of any Telegram group or anything else, I've got 350 lands across the world. So I know the project, and it's good for me to do my due diligence. And that is the other thing as well. And I think everybody has their own responsibility. If they're buying cryptocurrency, if they're buying NFTs, if they're going into a project, do your due diligence, look at the people, look at the community, look at the founders, look at the C-suite, understand what you're getting into. Because if you go into blind to anything and it doesn't work out for you, you've only got yourself to blame. So I think that's really important to just to highlight that fact.
Oh my God, you really brought up something very important. Absolutely. Do your own research. Look at the founders. There's a lot of Web3 companies where there's no team page. There's a lot of Web3 companies, NFT companies, whatever you want to call them. You go to the website and you don't see a team page. You do not see a team page at all. Over is very transparent. There's a team page that you can connect with them on LinkedIn, and many of you guys do. There's a lot of people, like, I'm kind of behooved sometimes at the gall. I'm saying this, that they'll just create a LinkedIn group and throw in the co-founders and start chatting. And it's great that the co-founders entertain that and they have that access behind the scenes and also on Telegram. It's crazy. Never before have we ever been able to have a direct line of communication to management or to a CEO or to a COO. Never, 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 never before. This is like insane. And it's amazing in one sector, but at the same time, it's to me, this is just my personal opinion. Sometimes it's not fair, because I'm going to speak about Over the Reality. Yes, they're Web3, whatever that means. And yes, people have these expectations of this. But if you really think about it, Web3 is building out Over the Reality is building out a Web3 AR infrastructure, blah, 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 and their DePIN. But when you really think about it, the corporation, they have a brick and mortar building in Udine, Italy. They clock in 9 to 5, actually, no, 9 to 8, 9 to 10. Like they're there late, but they have to be in the office at 9, and they have 1 hour lunches. So they operate very much Web 2. I'm just going to say that. They go home. I mean, like the devs are there late when they have to work, but literally they have vacation. Like their vacation, I think, is this month. The office is going to shut down for like 10 days, completely done. So it's not like they're building out Web3. They have a Web3 service and product per se, but they literally operate as a Web 2. They're not like, that's just how it is. They're in Italy. If you like they're Italy, isn't it? Like like the land of balance. To me, when I used to live in Europe, there's such a balance. There's such a balance. They work hard, but there's such a balance in terms of going out, touching grass, biking, spending time with your family, going out to the beach or whatever you have. Whereas in North America, in a way, I could say generally there's like work, like just work, and grab your PTO or pay time off and stuff like that. It's really a different culture. So I just gotta chill. Like when you come. I wanted to compare Over's community and what Over was doing with the Xenu community. And I did that. And I'm very transparent and vocal about that. But then I've evolved my understanding that in terms of transparency, and I've said this before, the number one thing that Over the Reality is so transparent about is their technology. I mean, they are still building behind the scenes and still allowing people to play on their platform. Who does that? It's almost like everyone now that's touching Over the Reality, you guys are like the beta testers. That's how I'm seeing it. In a Web 2 world, in a corporate world, all this is beta testing. No one will roll out a product in Web 2 unless it's 3 years in the product line, focus groups, beta testing like crazy, troubleshooting. Actually, when you guys are testing out the new updates, the new map to earn, and all these things with all the different devices, currently there is iOS and Android mobile operating systems, right? That you use to map. We don't use LiDAR. You have two mobile operating systems. Never mind, there's different iterations of iPhones. That's another thing. They always have their software updates. And then you're talking about Android. Oh my God, Android has so many OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. There's Samsung, Huawei, uh, OnePlus, I don't know, like so many. So when you're thinking about that type of convergence and getting all those displays and all the little nuances that the OEMs have tweaked with the Android mobile operating system, on all the differences in with the iPhones to get to work in with one platform. Come on, that's fucking excuse my language, amazing. And you guys and Oleus gets to earn 1 ETH because of his passion and stuff like that. And now he can buy like 21 NFTs or little tiny little validators. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're talking, if you want transparency, sure, there's got to be maybe some people will say that there's got to be more communication. You guys have, I know that there are some people in this group that dudes, you guys have a Telegram group where um you can speak to the co-founders, and they can answer you back. Before they did not, right, Alex knows. For 2 years, um there are 10 Eliases and 10 Mayors and 10 Swaveries, like saying the same kind of thing but a different, saying the same song, but it's just different. It's just different. And I always, I that's why I don't go to these Telegram groups, because I don't want to see this stuff. I want, like, they're working behind the scenes. They when people say, "Oh, the Xenu community has been around here for 3 years," Over's been around for 4, building out a huge infrastructure that's open to everybody to play, to earn. We're talking about augmented reality creators. We're talking about Web3 gaming. We're talking about DePIN, real world assets. It's crazy. So if you want more communication, you do get that. You just don't get that in the way that you want to get that. It's almost like, and I'm going to say it, it's almost like sometimes in Web3, some people are entitled, feel a little bit of an entitlement. And I get that because you guys are investors. So am I. I don't have 300 overlands. I have like about maybe 98, 89, something like that, overlands. And I love all my overlands. And I'm an investor. Somebody with one overland is just the same as an investor with 100 or 200. But you make your choice. You choose to invest. You choose to go into a platform for whatever reason, right? I'm just coming off strong because I see a lot of the back communication. And Mert, I'm going to bring this up. Mert is not a developer. You guys don't know this, but Mert is, oh my God, he is a godsend. He is one of the godsends, just like Alex. He handles the moderation on Discord. He creates tutorial every time someone needs to know something with the SDK or anything with Over. He creates a video tutorial for them. He's an engineer by trade. He is not a developer, but he definitely helps with the testing. So when people expect him to, like, I don't even know. Please be kind to the core team, to the people that you do have direct communication with, because they're not an, I keep saying this. I said this even in 2021. Over's not Amazon, where they have a huge customer service all over India, wherever. They're not an Amazon. They're a brick and mortar office with like 36 employees inside, 9 to 5. There's only like maybe 4 or 3 now remote workers. I'm just saying, guys, like, just be patient. Be patient with them. You already get to play with the technology that's still being built behind the scenes. I mean, sometimes I just wish Over closes off the app and rolls it out when everything is done, like when each stage is done, like in 2 years. Then nobody will complain. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like check your expectations, because I know I definitely had to. I definitely had to check my expectations. And the number one thing is Over's never left. They continue to create for the community, give the community opportunity to make businesses for themselves. You know, sometimes people expect, a payback or Over to give them something back. They're already giving. You got the spatial Web3 platform. Build, map. Elias is doing it. Our Hexa has been doing it. He's been creating like a business. He's been in digital fashion for a number of years. He saw the opportunity that Over can bring with merging a digital fashion with the phygital. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say this over and over and over again. It's please be patient with the core team. They have a Web3 product and service, but they literally operate as Web2. If they were Web3, then you would see Diego and Davide on their Twitter all the freaking time. Just saying. Just because you have social media doesn't mean people are able to use it. Just because you can use it or you see other developers using it or whoever. Kudos to what's his name, Sebastian Bourget, of CEO co-founder of Sandbox. Sandbox has been around for, I think, almost like 8 years now. And with a big with a major, not rebrand, but a change in platform. And kudos. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. Everybody's different, right? All communities are different, but the one thing we have the same is that we are passionate about what we join. I am equally as passionate with Over as I am equally as passionate as the Xenu and the Mainnets community. That's all I'm saying. And it's wonderful that they're together. It's wonderful that Elias was able to join, and then Elias brought in our Hexa. And now you guys are, oh my God, you guys are getting the best of both worlds, honestly. Like, to me, being part of Over and Xenu Mainnets, it's the best of both worlds, but really different. But well, I think we're lucky, right, Elias?
Yes, right. That's why I'm trying to show to the people that there is no excuses. You don't have enough money for get your first. Come on, like I can teach you to do your tokens for get your first. Like I have video tutorials teaching how to do map2earn. So then you get to think. Like, this is easier.
I know you're doing that.
Like I can do your work.
Yeah, I know you're doing that. So guys, Elias, when is your next us community space with you and Mayor? Is it next Tuesday?
Yes, next Tuesday we will do it. We're scheduled to it's 7 p.m. on my time. On your zone is in 1 hour from right now.
Okay, please guys follow Alexa. I'm Alexa. Wow. Follow Elias and Mayor. I know I invited Mayor to speak, and I know I was on a rant. Sorry, Mayor. I know you're in the middle of work and you just had like a sliver of thing, or maybe, like whatever. But I'm so sorry that you didn't get to speak. But please follow Elias, and we all will see you all there on Tuesday on their Over bi-monthly community space. It's totally a different vibe. I love it. There you're going to get more information on mapping or anything else with Over the Reality, but it's really really great. You get to share your stories and stuff like that. But just so you know, this really is a Over the Reality space. The reason why I stopped making Over the host was, number one, I have more control when I am host. I'm using 2 mobile phones, and I have more control when something happens, and it's a branding thing. So let's say Over the Reality was host and it got rugged or something happened, then the last thing people are going to remember is Over the Reality hosted a space and these are the things that happened. Whereas here, I decided to, it's a PR branding thing. It's Digital Femme hosted the space, though it is an over thing. But if anything happened, like it got rugged or people had like whatever experience, they don't see it as over. They see it as, oh, it's digital femme. So to me, that's a personal choice that I made, to protect the over brand. So everything I say that's coming out of my mouth is it's the words are my own, but this is an over space. But I get to say what I say because I'm not like Alex. I believe Alex may have been the first one to join the team for Over the Reality. He's been in it for the long run. He's been deep in the woods. He's seen the whole evolution of the community and the comings and goings and everything. And it's so nice to have someone like Alex be here. Like he has the history of everything. He's met them a number of times. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So yeah. So it's 1 minute to the hour. I know I kind of like was on a little rant, but you have to understand I'm very, very protective over the reality as well as the Xenu mainnets community. I really, really am. It's crazy. It's probably not a good thing. I will say this though. I gotta say, guys, can you please follow? There's Elias and Alex are holding Spanish spaces for the Xenu community and mainnets community, and they're doing that every Tuesdays. It's crazy, and I'm wondering, Elias, if maybe you could do Spanish spaces and with Alex on for over the reality. I don't know.
Yes, I'm actually my videos are in Spanish first and then in English. So yes, I'm not starting in a Spanish OVR community space because I'm alone. Yes, I learned it with Maor basically. So as you see, that's why I was wanted to say that there is no competence here because as you see, number one and number two are collaborating and doing something together.
Yeah.
And we are actually really want to show to the people that we can collaborate and make something big. We like Mario and Luigi. Like we are brothers.
Mario. Oh my God, I love it. What I do want to say is to please, follow when you go to my PFP, my Twitter. I actually have oh my gosh, what do I have? I actually have the mainnets. What do I have? I actually have the mainnets. Do I? Yes, I have the mainnets Twitter account. If you click on my face and go to my profile bio, there is the at mainnets account. So please follow mainnets. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Mainnets is actually a layer one blockchain. They're also a cross chain. They can speak more. I'm not going to speak. However, they've recently partnered with I hope I say this right, with the California State University Fullerton. So California State University, Fullerton. Fullerton is known for the campus or the university that is always adopting the latest in technology. I'm saying this is because this is huge. Historically, this is history, guys. Mainnets is creating history as a layer one blockchain being included in the curriculum for the CSU, for the California State University Fullerton curriculum starting this September. Starting this September. It happened. It happened in a matter of like I think 3-4 months. They got to talking. The professor that's leading up the actual crypto blockchain program that they're going to be using the mainnets layer one blockchain to teach these very high tech students getting into crypto. He is a huge he has a lot of experience in not only DeFi, but he had his own hedge fund in the 80s and 90s. So he's deep in the whole finance aspect in Web 1 finance, Web 2 finance, Web 3 decentralized finance. And this is huge, guys. This is huge. You know why it's huge? Because think about it. When the mainnets blockchain is going to be the blockchain where a university that's known for technology is using for their students. The students are going to build on the mainnet's blockchain, the blockchain already has a number of NFTs. So think about it. If they always say that if you were at the start when Ethereum became wasn't what it is today, that is exactly what mainnets is. Mainnets Z is creating history with the California State University Fullerton. It's crazy. I could tell you more, but I'm not really the one to speak. I was new to the community. I joined in February. I got a Xenu. I don't have 21 Xenus. Oh my God, there's a story here, but please follow at Mainnets because you do not want to miss this history in the making. When the first blockchain is actually going to be integrated into a tech school's curriculum. That is huge. That is huge. I cannot say it enough. Anyway, does anybody in here have any last words? I'm gonna go to our Hexa and then I'll go to Elias. Our Hexa. Ooh, maybe he's busy. Maybe he's in a meeting or something. Let's see if
He's answering me at WhatsApp.
oh, he's talking. Come
We
on.
was talking at WhatsApp about you.
We're multitasking.
You guys, our Hexa, do you have anything you want to say before we close out the space?
No, again, another great room. Yeah, I wish everyone a great day, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. You know, this whole thing. I'm enjoying. I mean, I know we talked about it earlier. Meeting new friends. I'm getting lots of back messages on Twitter, which is great from people that I've never in this room as well in this space, which is lovely. So hopefully we can develop those conversations. And you know, it's nice to see other people as well, like Ira's in the audience there, who I connect with on LinkedIn. You know, LinkedIn, Twitter, Discord, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Just associate yourself with good people, build on credibility by association, and we'll all do well, and we'll all have a really good time along the way, which I think is something which is undervalued by a lot of people in the real world. So let's hope we can go forward in this new space and pick up on doing the right things by good people, because that's important.
No, it is. I'm so glad you did a shout out to Ira because my goodness, can this girl create? I think 2 weeks ago, I finally went onto a spatial space on the mobile, not with my Meta Quest or whatever, and it's amazing and it's seamless and all the people that are creating is crazy. So if you want to, the easiest way to, I guess, if you've never really joined a metaverse, you can literally follow Ira and go into her experiences. She'll always send a link. You don't even need the Meta Quest. You can do it. You can just do it on your mobile phone. It's amazing. It works seamlessly. It's just wonderful. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Our Hexa, Ira's like crazy in developing the designs, and so is Meta Mike and our Hexa too. You guys, our Hexa has been in the fashion space, Web2 fashion forever, I believe, and he's really collaborated and partnered with huge designer brands. And the fact that Over the Reality is in his radar and he has like 300 somewhat overlands, he knows the potential, or he knows what is the future of branding, retail, fashion. So please follow him for any type of collaboration in addition with Elias. Elias, do you have any last things you want to say in this space?
Yes, thank you so much, Carmen, for hosting the space. Actually, I'm very thankful for this opportunity always. And since I started to travel, also, I'm very thankful for who I'm connecting right now. I'm building this network. So thank you also, everyone in the Zeno community. Shout out Alma Cortez, Steven C, Heather, Future. Who else is here? Zeta2, A. So I think it's the people from the Zeno community. And also wanted to thank Alexa. Really, it was a pleasure to map with him there. And just to say that our space on this Tuesday will be, the name of the space will be Mapping Resiliences. So we will talk about the worst stories we had and why we even with the worst stories, keep mapping.
Oh,
So that will be the topic of mapping resiliences. So I just say that.
oh
And
my
if you read
God. I love that. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. And also, I really love the Spanish spaces that you do with Alex for Xenu mainnets. Like it's amazing. I just really want to learn, and the more you guys have it, I feel like my brain is picking it up. So you guys, if you want to practice your Spanish or learn Spanish, please follow Alex and Elias. They have like Spanish speaking spaces every Tuesdays. If you follow them, I can't remember the time. Um, uh, for Xenu and mainnets. But please go to my profile, follow at mainnets Z on Twitter. You do not want to miss being part of, or at least being part of the story or seeing it unfold, where the mainnets blockchain is the first blockchain that ever gets integrated in a university curriculum. That's huge, guys. That is so, so huge. It's fun. It's phenomenal. Oh, speaking of which, Arnold is down there. He is part of the Xenu mainnets community. He's actually he's like the key, you'd call it the connector of getting Professor Mike, who's the professor of, I have to say this right, California State University, Fullerton. He's the one that connected with the professor, and they connected with Mainnet Xenu's COO, I believe, Brian, and together they formed this curriculum. And not only that, one of the Xenu Mainnet's C-suite core team is sits as the board of directors at the California State University Fullerton for this crazy crypto blockchain curriculum. Insane. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for being patient with my rant. I want to apologize. I'm so very protective of Over and Xenu, but because this is an Over space, it is what it is. But thank you so much for staying. Again, Arnold, thank you for joining. I know you're probably at work, but it's so good to see you here. Cortez, as always. Stadium, thank you. I've seen you. Thank you for joining Stadium in the Metaverse. I haven't seen you around for a while. I'm glad you're here. Tindicator, you've been around since the beginning. The Derby one, I miss you so, so much. Love what's happening with you and your partner in the AI space. Keep going. It is what it is. It's your time to shine. The Derby one. Meta Mike era, you Spatians, you. I love that you are doing this cross-platform community thing and always supporting Over the Reality. Alex, oh my God, Alex, you're so dear to my heart. You're truly family to me, and I'm so happy that you're here on this journey with Over the Reality. Alex, I have tears in my eyes. Thank you so much for joining, Alex. Heather, I see you. Demancy, Brover, as always. I hope you can get that One Plus fixed already. That just, come on. I know that's going to happen soon. Open Metaverse, always glad to see you. Alonzo, I know. I still got to join your Discord. I will. Maybe I'll do it today. I'll do it today. Alonzo, I'll do it today. Zeta A, thank you for joining. Snippy, I see you. Jay, thank you for still hanging out. Hey, Creato Magic, thank you for joining. Codner, you've been here for a while. And James. Wow, James, you've been here since the beginning. That's great. Wouldn't it be great? I think Elias, I know this is Elias's thing. He wants everybody in Over the Reality to buy at least one Xenu. And I wonder if the 21 Xenus that he bought, I wonder if he's going to give one away in some kind of contest. I don't know. I'm putting him on a spot. He may or he may not. The reason why I'm saying this is because he is such a giver. He is so generous. Whatever our Hexa said is 100% Elias. Elias is like, yeah, he's definitely a light that shines on different communities and into people's lives. So I don't know. What are you gonna do with those 21 Xenu NFTs? Because wow. Anyway, I won't say. He's actually given one away to someone.
Well, people, we have to start to map.
Oh!
Use the referral code. So new mappers will have chances to get the Xenus for sure, because I have referral codes and I can really follow who is mapping, who is not mapping, how much they are mapping.
Whoa! So, okay, you hear
yes,
it?
We can do something very, very interesting, some good contest.
Oh my God! Yes. Maybe I'm gonna join so I can get another Xenu. That's crazy.
Yes, I want you make maps also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When the moon turns yellow. Wait, the moon is the sun yellow. Anyway, I'm just joking.
The cheese moon.
Yeah, the cheese moon. Guys, this is so great. I know this is the over the reality space, but please follow at MaynetZ. Hit my face. Tap on my face. Go to my profile. There's the at MaynetZ. Um, you just don't want to miss being part of history. That's all. Really, it's almost like when Ethereum started, and if you knew what Ethereum was going to be, wouldn't you want to follow Ethereum and get in on the ground level? Just saying. Okay, so gonna end this at 11:60. Oh, just want to say, I'm gonna be transparent. We are onboarding more Web3 mapper content creators for August. We've onboarded a number of them for July, and it is what it is. And now we're onboarding more for August, just so you know. So I'm definitely going to let them know about Elias, to who to follow, like Elias, our Hexa, Brover, Mayor, and we are all bringing them to the Discord so they can be now part of the whole mapping community. So the more the merrier, the more the merrier. And what's really great is now I get to do the whole, what's it called, onboarding process from start to finish. And I have a better idea of really what it involves and it entails. Isn't that great? Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you so much. I'm going to play this song because I will. Everybody have a great Thursday. Guys, it's August 1st. If I don't hear from you, have a great weekend, but please join. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna share the Thursday Marbles Mayhem on Discord. I'm gonna share it. It happens at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's at 8 o'clock my time and 7 p.m. at night. If you live out there in the West Coast, if you are in Europe, then you're sleeping, or maybe you want to wait for it. But do join the Thursday Marbles. I will be retweeting it so you can see that, and you get to win, guys, like tokens, like NetZs. You can win a Xenu NFT. You never know. Hopefully I'll see you there in Marbles and Rosemary's space so you get to know more about the Xenu Mainnets community. All right, Elias, onward and upward as we merge over in Xenu.
Let's mapping and go.
And our Hexa. Yeah, let's map and go. There you go. Let's map and go. Start mapping so you can get a Xenu. Basically, that's what he's saying. Bye, guys. Wow, why is that such a low kind of music? Anyway, have a great weekend. See you on Thursday. See you on Discord for Marble.